Do you sort of kind of believe in the power of mindset, but still can't seem to keep it on your radar every day to actually do those practices that keep you feeling good and thinking positively? Well, if so, you will be happy to know that today I am going to share the exact mindset practices that have helped me to build $2 million businesses in record time. And I've got a free resource that'll help you to keep this on your radar every single day. So let's begin. I have a listener that wrote in, and I'm going to read exactly what he or she wrote. It said, I know mindset comes first, but I need help being consistent with doing the practices. I need a few quick small wins that'll help me really know, in all capitals, that mindset comes first and how to stick with those practices. So first off, good for you that you recognize that mindset is so important and that you know it's important. And I agree with you that it would be good to have a quick win. And so stick around, and I'm going to share an exercise that will give you evidence that it's working within 72 hours. So you'll actually be able to see within a matter of just a few days that the mindset practice you're doing is actually working. Okay. So first of all, I want to talk about the importance of mindset, because it sounds like you really get it, that mindset is important, but not everybody does. And I think we can get a little lazy with mindset. So I want to draw an analogy. Let's pretend that you went to some health professional who said, I've got really bad news, but you can maintain your health if you do this one thing. You need to drink a glass of water every waking hour, every hour that you're awake, you need to drink a glass of water or you'll die. Well, if any of us got that message that we had to drink a glass of water every hour or we would die, guess what? We would figure out how to drink that water every hour, wouldn't we? Like, we would make it the top priority. We would manage to find systems. We'd put systems in place where we would definitely drink that water every single hour. So why don't we use the same urgency with mindset? What is it about mindset that we don't create that same kind of urgency that we do with our physical health? And I've come up with a few reasons. I think one of the reasons is that we don't really believe in the importance of it. We really don't make it that much of a priority that we actually have that sense of urgency. So we don't really kind of believe that it works. Number two, we like wallowing. You know what I mean? We start to feel bad, and we start to feel a little sluggish, and we start to feel a little depressed, and we like to talk about it, and we like to say, I'm feeling a little down. Woe is me. I'm feeling a little low now, right? We'd like to wallow, and we like to drag out these feelings that we have longer. We like to focus on these feelings and drag them out as long as we can. You know you do. I know I do sometimes, right? And next, sometimes we're just plain lazy thinkers. Sometimes we just are lazy. We don't actually say, like, okay, Dana, what is going on here? Think in your head. Be proactive. Actually focus on the thoughts you're thinking, right? So first stop, you have to decide that this is important to you. That is the single most important thing you can do. If we had that same sense of urgency that we had with drinking that glass of water every hour, everything would be different for us. So number one, very first important thing you can do is you must put this at the very top of your list. And frankly, there is nothing more important that you can do to not only build your business faster, but to have a better life. All these experts give you all these reasons, that all this list of things that you have to do to build a business faster. And it's this task list, build a website, have a lead magnet, post on social media, all this stuff. Well, guess what? None of that stuff works if your mindset isn't on track. So there is nothing more important you can do than to get your mindset on track. Why? Life is better when you feel good. Period. Full stop. Life is better when you feel good. And feeling good isn't something that happens to you. Feeling isn't something that just drops out of the sky. Happiness doesn't drop out of the sky and land on top of you. It's something you generate. You create the good feeling. You create the good feeling you out into the world. So think about the difference when you show up in the world kind of like, hope this works, or half-heartedly, or, I gotta get this done, right? Feel the energy behind those things, as opposed to when you're feeling really good, you're flying high, you can't wait to get started, you're like, oh man, so many good things are happening, and life is so good, and I can't wait to share this with you, and I'm so excited. There are benefits to feeling good that go far beyond building a business, but just in building a business, this to begin with, when you feel good, you open up the creative pathways in your brain. When you're not feeling good, or you're feeling stressed, or you're feeling overwhelmed, or you're feeling busy, or you're trying to get that task list done, you're just shrinking down those creative pathways in your brain. You literally don't have access to good ideas. When you feel good, You have access to better ideas. You have access to better decisions. You make better decisions. You can trust yourself to make a good decision when you're feeling good. When you're feeling good, you're excited to get out in the world. You can't wait to get out in the world. You can't wait to engage with people. You can't wait to hear what they're up to. You like them better. They like you better. You have better connections. When you feel good, you show up in the world as your best self. People want to work with you. When you feel good, you sit down to do something and you get in the flow and you just can't wait to like get something done and it goes faster. Like you want to work less and make more. This is how you do it. You get feeling really, really, really good. And then go do that task and then show up in the world and then make a decision and then get into creative mode. So number one, most important thing you can do to not only build a business quickly and easily, but also to have a better life is to make mindset your number one priority. So now, how do you keep it your number one priority? First of all, you have to remember, right? You have to remember that you're doing it. So I find that the easiest way to do this is to remember immediately before I even get out of bed. So put that Post-it note on the alarm clock, put it on the wall across from your bed, put something on your phone to ding or remind you that mindset matters most. Nothing is more important than mindset. You have to make that declaration every single day, first thing in the morning. So you see that Post-it note, you see the reminder on the phone, you're just waking up, you're half asleep, and you're like, oh yeah, that's right. Mindset matters most. Today's the day. And if you can, like just stay there for 60 seconds to 90 seconds and just say that to yourself a few times. Mindset matters most. It's going to be a great day. I'm going to make it a great day. I like being a brain trainer. I like being a proactive thinker. I'm ready to do this. You can list some things you're looking forward to. Anything to really get those juices moving, right? Even before your feet hit the floor. Now you get out of bed and you start your morning routine. And there are some things, there's sometimes we kind of have to do that maybe don't relate to mindset, like take the dog out if the dog needs to go out or feed the cat or whatever the thing is, right? If you can, as early in the morning as possible, have some kind of mindset focused routine that you do. And I don't care what it is. It can be meditation. It can be journaling. You can make a list of appreciation, things that you're appreciating. You can say mantras over and over again. You can jump up and down going, yes, 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 yes. One of my favorites, don't judge, one of my favorites is to just run around the kitchen in a circle for 60 seconds saying, I feel great, I feel great, I feel great, right? Over and over and over again. There's nothing like that that's going to make you go, woo, I feel great, right? You can do EFT, emotional freedom techniques. So you can do tapping, right? There's all sorts of things that you can do. And sometimes even things like exercise are included. Walking in nature is a mindset practice. Anything that gets your head first thing in the morning in that space where you've got positive emotional momentum. Because the more positive emotional momentum you've got going, the easier it's going to be for you to sail through the day and to keep that momentum going as you go. You are going to start out in the right place to get that done. Okay. Now, as you go throughout the day, I highly recommend setting a minimum of 8 reminders on your phone. But I would go for as many as you feel like is reasonably possible that just come up and they can say things like, I feel great. Today's going to be a great day. Everything's going my way. So like little mantras, or they can say things like, be present. How are you feeling right now? What are you thankful for right now? Like change them up and have these little mantras or little reminders or little questions come up. Why? Because even if you ignore them, your brain sees them. And even if you aren't necessarily going to do anything when you see them. So it's not like, oh, it's 11:05 a.m. and my reminder came up, so now I've got to take 20 minutes and do a mindset exercise. No, it's not like that. Really applying mindset has to do with keeping it top of mind quickly, being so committed to it that we are doing and we're doing it quickly and we're staying focused. So you see that reminder, and even if you were thinking negative right in that moment, everything's a win. So you see it and you go, oh, I'm so glad I got this reminder because mindset is important to me. That's all I need to know. Mindset is important to me. I'm on it, right? You want to have it be repetition, 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 always in your mind that there is nothing more important than mindset. There is nothing more important than feeling good, right? So typical day, you're just seeing those reminders and you're just getting back on track when needed. Post-it notes also help, right? If you can put up a Post-it note like on your computer, in your car, on your refrigerator, on your television, and move them around. So the one on the TV gets moved to the base, like move them around as much as you can. And they don't even have to say anything. That's the great part. Like, obviously, if they can have a mantra on them or something like that, nice idea, right? Or, just even something that may look silly to everybody else in the house, but it will help you remember. So it might even have a word like remember on it. Or it can even be a blank Post-it note. It will still remind you, and change them up often. So how do you change them up often? You put a task on your task list that says, change your Post-it notes, change the colors, change the locations, anything to get your brain on track. There is nothing more important. If you don't drink that glass of water every hour, you're going to die, right? So we have to make mindset that kind of importance, because when we do, what happens is it gets easier and easier and easier. There's a little bit of that priming the pump in the beginning that feels like, oh, okay, I've got to get my systems. I've got to get, really the importance of it in my mind. I've got to, do the things that I need to do to make this easier. But what happens is literally even after 48 hours, 3 days max, 1 week, you're just like a pro. It doesn't take very long to start feeling the benefits of it and moving along. Then the next thing I want to say is most of brain training, most of making mindset the priority is just waking up to our stories, waking up to the crap that we put in our head and just not tolerating it anymore. And if you're wondering, well, what if I don't know what crap is in my head? Like, what if I don't know what stories I'm telling? Here's how you can find out right now. Ask yourself this question. My business would be growing except, and fill in the blank, or my business would be growing faster except, and what's that reason? What's that reason that your business isn't growing or your business isn't growing faster? And that's the thing to do your mantra about. That's the thing, the brain training that's needed. That is the garbage input that's getting the not good result output. Okay. So it's very easy. Like, we can all answer that question really, really easily. And guess what? If we start answering that question, start fixing that issue, start answering it again and fixing and answering and fixing, can you see how you start to really have fast exponential growth? Because you don't just let that run in the background of your day anymore. You actually are doing something about it. Okay. Then finally, I think the bedtime routine is much underrated. And so I've got a few quick tips for that. The first one is really be mindful of that last 30 minutes before bedtime. So during that last 30 minutes before bedtime, whatever you see or think about or do goes straight into your unconscious mind. So it really becomes part of your unconscious belief system makeup. So there's probably, morning is a very, very important part of the day. And this 30 minutes before bed is a very important part of the day, because it is so easy to just let stuff come at us and not be mindful at that time because we're tired. When you're tired, sometimes you let your guard down, or you're not, so you don't feel so much like revving up or feeling positive. And so this isn't about having to be a cheerleader at 11:30 at night or something like that. This is more about just being mindful to do things that feel good at that time. So when you're going to sleep and you're going to bed, do that list of things you're grateful for the day as you fall asleep. So really just think, like, what is it that I'm grateful for today? What feels good today? What am I looking forward to tomorrow? I'm anticipating it's going to be a good day tomorrow, and I love the feeling good, and I love the feeling of my bed, and really just try to get into those relaxing, feel good emotions. Okay. Now I want to give you a quick win. Do you remember how I said before, like, that's the thing that's holding you up in your business? And you can do this mantra that I'm going to give you with anything, but figure out something you want to fix. So it could be, it doesn't even have to be business. It could be like, I want to lose weight, or I want to grow my business, or I want to get clients, or I want more leads, or I want to grow my following, or whatever. Fill in the blank with anything that you want. What do you want? Just ask yourself, what do you want? Well, I want more money. I want blank. After you know what you want, write a mantra starting with the phrase, it's so easy. So it would be like, it's so easy to make money. It's so easy to build my business. It's so easy to build my following. It's so easy to get clients. It's so easy to become known in my niche, right? Or whatever the thing is that you think you can't have, do an it's so easy mantra. Now, here's why it's so easy mantras work. It's so easy mantras work because if you have spent your whole life thinking about losing the last 10 pounds that you got to lose, or the last 20 pounds, and you've tried every diet in the world, it's almost ridiculous to be going like, it's so easy to lose weight. It's so easy to lose weight, right? It just seems almost silly and ridiculous. And so because of that, an it's so easy mantra breaks down your defense system. You don't argue with it, and you don't make it like it couldn't happen. Like, it just seems ludicrous to say, it's so easy to build my following. It's so easy to make money. And so it makes you laugh. So the good thing about mantras is you don't have to believe them. You just have to not argue with them. So it doesn't matter if you believe what you're saying. Just don't have a big debate about it in your head. Just say the mantra, have fun, have a laugh. Say it 25, 50 times a day. Do it with some other habit that you've got in your world, like taking the dog for a walk, or maybe making your morning coffee. Put a little post-it note that says, say your mantra. And for 3 days, 72 hours, say it as often as you can think about it, but ideally 25 times a day throughout the day. You can do 5, 5, 5, 5, or do 25 all at once, or do 50 if you can do 50. But just say, it's so easy to make money, or it's so easy to build my following. It's so easy, it's so easy, it's so easy, over and over and over again. And what you're going to see is, after 72 hours of saying that, your reticular activating system will kick in. That's that little matchmaker that lives in your head. And the reticular activating system in part of your brain is going to start to bring things on your radar, evidence that's showing you that it's working. So have fun with it. You know, I don't want you to believe me. I don't want you to believe anything I tell you. I want your brain to prove it to you. I want you to become so committed that mindset is the single most important thing. Mindset matters the most, that you are using your brain in new and interesting ways that are getting you better results, and your brain will prove it to you. So try the It's So Easy mantra. And, you know, obviously, even outside the It's So Easy mantra, speak nicely to yourself. Say those little things to yourself that feel good. Like, you know what? I'm getting better at this. And I do find this to be a priority. Like, this is important to me. And I do like the idea of being a brain trainer. And I do like the idea of focusing my mind. And I am excited to wake up with gratitude and to go to sleep with gratitude. And it would be easy if I was just building in these small little routines. And I like the idea of building in these small little routines. And I'm open to being a brain trainer. I'm open to catching myself and to waking up and not being a lazy thinker. And I like the idea of just not wallowing. I have to laugh because I can see myself in doing that. And it would be fun to be thinking more positively. And I'd love to leverage the power of mindset to build my business. And I can see how if I was thinking more positively, if I was feeling good, if I was showing up at my best self, I would get better results. It makes total sense to me. And I do get the idea that I would get better access to ideas, and I would have more fun, and I would like people better, and I would show up in the world in a better way, and I would get more done, and I'd be able to work less and make more. And I'm so into this, and I'm so ready for this, and I'm so committed to this. And if you are that committed to this right now, say I am in the comments and declare it and own it for yourself. Make sure that you are making this declaration every single day, reminding yourself every single day. If you want a free resource where it'll keep it top of mind for you, go get the daily mantra. It's at danawilde.com/mantra. Go get that, and every single day you will be reminded that there is nothing more important than mindset, because I know for sure you've totally got this.